I stare at the moon. I know it recognizes me too. I wonder why the morning always comes so soon. Always. During the day I'm searching for you. My sleeping pattern's somewhat taboo. I wonder why the morning always comes so soon. Straight up made for this and I'ma turn it upside down. Real friends want nothing from you but to stick around. I'm dialing for a race so we can go cook up the sound. Always feeling faded, lost my...
Hello everyone! How you guys doing?
Welcome back to our channel.
¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están? Mierda, la hablé arriba de la comida. Yeah.
As you can see, we have a humongous pie because today we are doing a mukbang. I'm gonna get a pizza because it's like really calling my name at this point. So what is this video gonna be about, honey?
So in this video, we're gonna just talk about the stress and how stressful is New York City and why we think New York City is a stress. I've been living in New York City for about four years. Yeah, 4 years. I made it in May.
Is there more?
Well, after college, I moved here.
Oh yeah.
But it's just stressful. For me, it's like everything is too much. Like city is too much. As you guys saw in the previous video about the Christmas tree, like it's just crazy.
Actually, I've been living here my whole life. I was born here. In the beginning, I didn't really see the level of stress behind the city because obviously you're a kid, like you don't really even understand what life is.
Y tú eres hija única. You
Exactly.
only child, so you have everything all your life.
I was like spoiled, but kind of, not fully. And then I like grew up out of nowhere because like life hits you, and now it's like you're an adult and you gotta go to work and you have bills to pay. And then you realize how hard it really is to live in the city and survive while
when you don't have your parents anymore, then you realize because that's what happened to you.
Yeah.
What are the most stress things that you think is in New York City? For me, it's the stress of getting up, going to the train, go to where you have to go and work for somebody that is probably a billionaire. And you are just one plus. That's very stressful for me. Another stress barrier is like everything is more expensive. Like people might think that New York, you can make more money and be more stable, but that's if you live outside New York City and then you come here, work Monday to Friday, and then you do.
For instance, I know a couple of people that live in Jersey, and they say that, you know, they would work only in the city. Why? Because it's cheaper in Jersey. So obviously, with their salary from here, living over there with cheaper bills, of course it's better. There's people who live in Connecticut, which is even cheaper. And it's like people will really travel over here like 40 minutes in the morning by car or whatever the case may be, because they get paid more in the city. Now, if you live in the city and you're working in the city, it's just like 10 times harder because now you have high bills and less pay. Or if you get paid,
you get the same pay. The only problem is that you have to pay more rent, more car insurance. The car insurance is something that is just out of line. If you ask anybody that have lived in New York City, they're gonna be like, yo, the car insurance is just crazy. But aside from the financial, I think also everybody here want to fight. Everybody in New York City want to fight. You get in the train, the subway, you push someone, they look at you like they want to fight you. Why? It's New York City people stop with the fighting, bro.
like the reason why people are so angry in New York is because they're like so tired of a daily routine. So they're like tired of the same thing every day, that they're just kind of like over life. Versus like people from other places that are not New York, like they'll literally take the time out to say hi or to like smile at you if they're walking past you. In New York, forget about that. Like you're gonna get in the train and you have no friends. Like nobody's gonna look at you and tell you the time of day. Nobody's gonna smile at you. Nobody's gonna tell you, oh, how was your day? Nobody cares. They just care about getting to
I
the
do that. I
destination
do
on
that
time.
when I walk in the morning and I walk by and I'm walking to the office and someone is in the front of the building and say good morning, because that's how I was raised and that's something that I'm gonna continue implementing within myself and within like my future children and my family. Like that's not a value that you wanna put, because you put a value in yourself. Like that's like my mom. She's always tell me like, oh, in my job people go dress some way, but they really don't have to dress up. But my mom still dress up, and it's just like, damn, that's some values that you appreciate and you want to continue enforcing. Victoria told me the other day about a statement or like a statistic about New Yorker need to earn some amount of money. How much it was?
I actually came across this article. And the article basically said that in order for a New Yorker to be like financially stable and like mentally happy, they have to make a year $200,000. Let's be honest. The majority of the people in New York do not have a salary of $200,000. And if they do, God bless you. God bless your heart. And like, go you. Because it's hard out in these streets of NYC.
So everybody's depressed.
Exactly.
That's the name of this. So if you live in New York City right now, thumbs up if you're depressed. We with you, my friend. And I think everybody knows that. Like everybody knows that when you get old, it gets tougher, and the older you get, the tougher it is. No? Okay. I think New York City, another stress barrier or stress situation is ignorance of the ignorance and the like. People out here are very close mind. Like people in New York City, they care about how they wear, how the other one is wearing clothes or what clothes they're wearing. It's very fashionate. So, but that's like kind of minority. So it's like always that intrigue is like, oh, this person, like I need to get the sneakers, or it's always some race with that.
I feel like New York, one of the reasons why it's so stressful is because it's so high paced. Like New York runs at like 100 miles per hour at all times. Like this is why it's a city that never sleeps. Like there's literally something always going on. And then like it becomes stressful for individuals too, because now you have to go by another person's schedule. For instance, if we go to work and we have to take the bus or we have to take the train, you have to like run out of your house because you know that you have to catch a train or a bus at a certain time. And if you don't catch that train or bus at that time, your whole day gets messed up because now you're late to work. Now you're running around everywhere. Now you're pushing people in the subway. Now you're getting yelled at in the subway. It's just a whole bunch of chaos. And like when we went to LA, for instance, there's a kind of like a going on to the story. When we went to LA, we went to spend some time with a couple of his friends, and we were walking so fast, and they stopped us and they were like, oh my goodness, like why are you guys walking so fast? Like just relax. And we're like, oh, like we didn't even notice that we were walking that fast. But that's to tell you how fast New York really is. Like people really are they speed walking to get to whatever location they have to go.
Like for example, you think, oh, I had to take the train at 8:05. So due to the fact we wake up at 7:05, we have a whole hour to get there. Sacude de somoco. Oh my God. So if you get at 8:10, you have to think that you have to wait till 8:20 maybe to get the next train, and it just changed the whole hour.
It's honestly,
You're not gonna see the same people in the train because I'm not gonna lie, you get familiar already with the people in the train. You said, all right, so everybody here is going to the same thing.
Yep.
Sometimes you're scared. You're like, New people.
Yeah. And then that's another thing too, like just the fact that we're so fast. Because, and I'm gonna go back to LA because this is where I wanna live. But it's just the life is so much like not easier, but the life is so much like slower. Like people have a pace and they go by their pace. You know what I mean? Kind of like Florida too. I know Jean likes Florida, but Florida is also the same way. Like it's way slower than New York. And honestly, like your body physically feels more tired because you're constantly in a rush for everything.
And you're always thinking about the future, like what you're gonna do tomorrow.
Instead of enjoying the
Which is something that is spreading.
Yeah.
I know that in Europe, when I was in Europe, people used to take like siesta, like a break, and they used to go to sleep home like for 2 hours. Something that I seen it in the Dominican Republic, that people would go and take lunch.
It's honestly insane. But what are you gonna do?
Tú te portas en una foto.
Hartándome que estoy de la pizza, ¿tú supiste?
Boof.
So, oh my lord. So yeah, guys. New York.
Everybody.
Well, this is how I thought of it. Like we mentioned earlier, if you don't live in New York, but you're working in New York is a place to work. New York is a place to hustle, but then at the same time, it makes it difficult for you to really hustle truly because your bills are so high. So it's like, it's a balance, but at the end of the day,
like the point is to make some money to get out of here, but then you can. This is a place to investment. So if you get some income and you can invest in, flip it, New York is the place. I'm gonna tell you that I've seen people progress so much in New York City, but half of them, if they stay in New York City and they don't progress as much as the people that leave the city and they go and develop their life in another place.
And I was also gonna say, I've always had this belief that New York is a place to be if you were born either rich or like you come from a family that has been wealthy and they left everything over to you. You don't really have to do much.
Or you
but
work for
go
yourself.
to work.
Or you
exactly.
work for
or
yourself.
You work for yourself and you're your own entrepreneur. But if not, honestly, New York is not it. And comment below if you guys have seen the show Gossip Girl on Netflix.
Gossip Girl.
Not so like about the gossip, but if you see the way these kids grow up in the Upper East Side, I'm sorry. That's literally like how you're good. Like you're set. You know what I mean? But if you gotta grind and struggle while paying bills, New York ain't it. Facts.
Right. I hope you guys like our analyzation.
I hope you guys, if you live in the city, you understand where we're coming from.
And you appreciating that we're doing this vlogging every day. And we work. She work 9 to 5:30. I work 9 to 5.
Stuff out in the streets.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
And like we always say,
Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
comment,
and
share with your mother and your kids.